All right, guys. The subject of morale on Football Manager comes up from time to time for all sorts of kind of crazy reasons. You see it on message boards a lot. It's usually people who I think treat the game kind of like I do, who start complaining because if you just sort of play the game and you have success where you don't expect to, your morale can still go down for reasons that are like totally outside of your control. So let's go here and take a look and see what it is that we can do, right? We have average team cohesion. We just had a draw against one of the best teams in the league on the road, and yet the club atmosphere has gone down to average, whereas it was very good for a little bit of time after we had 2 wins in a row. There are a lot of contrasting personalities throughout the club. I mean, that's just the way it is. We're only picking up players that we can possibly pick up because, as I will remind you, we have absolutely no money at all. Now, the interesting thing here is that when we look at like team talk feedback, well, look at this. It now, Christian Nuhue, who earlier told me that morale was below average, now says that it's a little bit better than average at the moment, and that our current players are blending well together. This is our assistant manager, who may or may not know what he's talking about. I have no idea. He's the Albanian who was here when I came in, so that's just sort of the way that it is. Now, if you have good, and you can look in this too, a lot of players support me, which is an important thing. Whether you have good morale or bad morale, one thing that you can do, and you look at this and you say, this isn't perfect morale, definitely. One thing you can always use, you can talk to your team leader. So we can talk to him and we can say, well, what's the dressing room atmosphere like? So we put our arm around him. What was his average and going down? Are there any potential issues we should know about? Look at what he says. Morale isn't great amongst the squad right now, and that could eventually become a problem. Okay, thank you for your input. I'll see what I can do. But now the question is, what can you do? And that's a real question that I have for you. What in the world can you do to improve morale, right? We could do a bunch of morale boosting things in training, but did it actually improve morale? I mean, I've been watching a lot of evidence-based Football Manager. I mean, I don't know, maybe Max does have something about this. I prefer to just use the schedule that he's come up with. We are a part-time team, so we don't have a whole bunch of time to mess around with, right? What we really need to do is we need to make sure that our players are rested and that they're also playing a bunch of matches together so that they know how the tactic works, right? That I would consider to be a little bit more important than, maybe your feelings are hurt and maybe they're not. Nobody's upset, right? We do have one player here on the B team, this player here, who I think is still upset. We can look into this. It's not telling me that he's unsettled anymore. He's considering his options now. He's upset because he doesn't like the fact that I tried to sell him. Nobody went in for him anyway. And the reason why is because he's a 27-year-old who is inconsistent, is injury susceptible, and who has never really done very much. Maybe a little bit over in the Northern Premier Division 1 East for Liver's Edge a couple of years ago, right? I mean, this is not the sort of player we should have been signing anyway. No offense, Oliver, if you're watching this. That's part of the problem, though, right? So I stuck him on the B team because I didn't want him to ruin morale on the A team, right? Is he the reason why morale is a little bit bad? I don't know, right? Like when you go over here to these players and you're looking and you're like, why is your morale not good? I don't know why. Everything else looks good. We're happy, delighted, satisfied, and overall happiness is slightly happy with no negatives. Right? I mean, I don't know Theo Hanna. I think he was a little bit upset because he got a red card for, having an awful match. I mean, I don't get it. He has no strong feelings towards the squad support for me, right? What does that mean, right? And I really mean this, right? Like, if you ever play those old NES games, you ever play like Castlevania 2, or some of the maybe not so great RPGs, right? If you have, about like cryptic stuff in these games where it will tell you something that doesn't make any sense at all. And you're like, what does that mean? And you don't know what it means. And so you go around looking for this and looking for that, and you have no idea in the end what it means at all. That's what this is like, right? I want to make morale better. It should be better. When you look over here at the table, we're in 16th place. We are supposed to be in 24th. Right? I'll show this to you again. The season preview has us as 400 to 1 now odds to win the championship. We were at 600 to 1. Nobody thinks that we're going to win. Everybody thinks we're going to finish in last place, and we're not there. So morale should be better. Why are we having problems? What's the problem? Where is it coming from? I didn't yell at any players. I haven't fined anybody. I haven't given them a talking to or anything like that, right? What's going on? I don't know. You tell me what's going on. And what I really mean by this, and I hate to be too direct, but all of these people that I see on message boards and on YouTube and stuff who tell me, oh, it's so easy, Please tell me what to do. What is so easy about this? Because I look at this and I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do to make the morale better on this team. I mean, seriously, we haven't done anything to disturb morale, and yet it's not good. Why? We're playing well. We're winning some games. We do lose some games. We're not a great team. We just drew the second best team in the league. What do I have to do? You tell me. Talk to you later. Bye.